Hello everyone, CPAP with another Exceed commentary, and today we have the first semifinals match of Chimera Summer Bash. Yes, this tournament is almost over. Our top four competitors are Rose, MiX, Migo Hunter, and Chica. And today we're going to be having our first semifinals match between Rose and MiX. So Rose in her tournament run so far 6-0 and has fought both Chica and Migo Hunter, has beaten both of them, but has not fought MiX yet, as we already see the turn 1 prep action come out. It's going to be Rose's standard Lene against Mix's Ken. Mix has basically just been leading Ken the entire time. I'm assuming it's going to be... Oh, Parry's the reading, interestingly enough. Mix, I feel like, has been a little bit weak to reading, so I'm not surprised to see a parry on the reading come out. Although this early is definitely something. Maybe he doesn't want to get his assault read early into like a sweep or something like that. Rose isn't really known for the early readings, I think, but I mean, just get it out of there. Also, I guess Mix can now strike with the speed 4 option, and Lene can't respond with EX dive. I mean, she can respond with EX Skyfangs, I guess. We're going to see the Flying Swallow boosted, now Advanced Retreat 1, then Strike, gain advantage on hit. Range 3 mix up incoming. Lene doesn't really have a whole lot outside of that, especially on this special side. So it is, for the most part, just Assault Spike, Sweep Dive. Don't think we're going to be seeing like a cheeky Skyfangs or anything. With 2 gauge, Lene can, in theory, throw a Diviner at range 3, especially if there's multiple boosts in play. We're going to see the Mix try to call out the Spike with a dive, but gets dove in response. It's going to be an early 5 damage going Lene's way, with the gain advantage, of course, as is found on all Lene boosts, and then Lene will convert that into a prep. Lene standing on short side of board, however. Might want to consider getting out. I mean, it's Lene, so Lene can, in theory, even get out with the UA, but we're not going to be seeing that. We'll be seeing Lene exceed, and Rose, as we all know, loves the succeed side. Action play continues boost from engage. If it causes you to strike, gain +1 power. This boost, this exceed side is very good. We're gonna see the True Master come out from Ken at range 1. I mean, now threatening ignore our armor option at 7 power. Not very much Rose can do about that as Lene. Although no gauge, so maybe not even threatening that. At range 1 then. At range 1 with no gauge. So, I mean, 178 only happens when this attack is critted, right? I mean, it's 176, ignore armor. I mean, on top of that, it's Ken, right? So Ken has a Tatsu as well. We're going to see Lene spend 2 force in the form of the Diviner to cross over, as we predicted. But Ken at range 1 here does have both the ignore armor and the ignore guard options. So we're going to see a parry on block. Oh, okay, I see Mix's plan now, yeah. He's just trying to, he's just going to hit her hard. Parries the block. I mean, now Tatsu is a funny option at speed 5. Could just be like a sweep like that Mix plays for 8 power. It's not like Lene can run too far either, because of course Ken is blessed with a Hadoken. Fireball works up to range 6, so I mean, Lene's just going to have to kind of take this. Oh, of course, it's Season 6, so Season 6 also has its tech on block as well. Block is unfortunately kind of playing a little bit of double duty, especially into these characters with really strong boosts. Block is kind of an unfortunate place for tech hit, because I mean, blocking an attack is one way to tech a boost. And we're going to see the CC4 action come out. It's going to be a Skyfangs, Divine Blaze, and an Assault to just draw a whole bunch of cards. Maybe hoping to get the second block out that way. I mean, we'll have to even discard one for end of turn. Discard the second Skyfangs, not a useful card. We're now going to see Mix pop the Light on as well. So this is +2 power, +4 speed. So now we're looking at a card like Tatsu, which is 1-2, 7/7. Ignores guard as well. Oh, and Lene has drawn the tech hit. So we'll tech hit the True Master. Now the second one will go through. We're actually just going to see Lene initiate an EX as well. It's going to be the EX Grasp into the focus. Not the best result here for Lene, but I mean, did neutralize the boost setup for now. So the EX Grasp will deal 2 damage to Lene, and the focus will hit back for 3. Neo says, interesting, Rose was on short side, decided to prep, exceed, and spend 2 force to cross instead of just using her front side UA. Yeah, maybe just foreseeing that she didn't really need the Diviner in her hand, as we see the custom combo boosted with the knee bash. But yeah, that is certainly curious. I mean, we know that Rose doesn't like frontside UA. One of the reasons she doesn't like frontside UA is because it gives MiX a card. But yeah, I guess that is curious, just that the set of turns could have just been combined into one turn, although MiX does draw a card off it, as we see Lene prep as well. See MiX going through the discard here. Lene with 6 in hand, 12 in deck. So not a super reliable reading as of yet, although we do see, I mean, thanks to the handy dandy card tracker, we can see what cards are left, and I think it's like accurate enough. There are probably times where I just missed something, but it looks accurate enough for now, so. But yeah, it's weird, I mean, Lene does have that action compression of move 1 and draw on front side, but Rose decided not to take it. That is an interesting point that Migo brings up. Anyway, back to Ken here. Ken boosting +1 power, now strike. I mean, both sides of the fast slow mix-up are up for MiX. MiX has multiple sweeps left, multiple grasps left. Lene just kind of has to guess. I wonder if this is actually like a cheeky mix-up being played here, trying to telegraph a 7-power sweep and then ends up playing a 4-power grasp instead. Try to force out a cross, because MiX did spend a good amount of time looking at the discard for Lene, and knows that cross is such a good combat option for Lene, just because when she gets that into gauge, she can immediately boost it, get value out of both sides of superior, out of cross with the superior boost as well. As my internet is dying. Okay, we're back. But we should be okay now, I think. Lene just going for the wild swing here, interestingly enough. It is going to be the wild swing cross. Wow, MiX going for the Tatsu. That is spicy. MiX playing early mix-ups with a range 1, speed 3 Tatsu that does 6 power. Color me shocked that MiX is playing early mix-ups like this into Rose. Last time I saw MiX play a mix-up, I just feel like MiX's mix-ups never work for him, as we see mix-up boosted from Lene. Close 1, now strike. Spike Assault are up. Ken says, no, don't want to deal with that. Crosses out of the assault. Sorry about that, we are back. A little bit of storm outside. I don't know, it just got really dark and ominous outside. I hope that's not going to... It didn't affect the game, but I saw that my stream did go down. So thanks Comcast for that. But I think we should be back now. I guess just let me know if everything is okay. Unfortunately, this means I'll have to splice it together in post, which I'm not happy about, because I'd like to do as little post play as possible. But I think we should be back. Let me just pull it up on my phone. Yeah, the stream is up again. It just did like get really ominously dark outside. I mean, it's August 2nd, so it is gonna get darker earlier at night, but it's also only 6:30. It's also kind of weirdly weird outside. But anyway, just in case you guys missed what happened the past couple turns, MiX boost. MiX boosted True Master at range 2, Lene respected to 1, and Ken now throwing a critical strike here. Sees both Hados are down. However, I wonder if this is MiX baiting out an EX Moongyre. Let's see. It is not. It is the real thing. Notably, MiX this axe kick. Okay. Actually, EX Moongyre speed 8, so I mean, axe kick was always going to hit there. Rose Wild Swing's an elusive flash away, which can be sad for later. So I forgot that, wasn't 100% sure, but yeah, I'm like 99% sure this axe kick was critical, so it'd be speed 8. So yeah, I mean, that's the 178 that we were talking about before. We're going to see a now strike hit, the opponent discards a card at random. This can only be EX sweep, assuming that I am to be trusted here. MiX is out of dives. Can't respond with EX Tatsu either. So EX sweep is looking pretty good here for Lene. Ken on short side of the board, so can't cross out. I mean, MiX will get to do some damage here with the assaults. Lene will get a double sweep effect here, which is pretty nice. Drops the Tatsu and the Shinryu. Decent pulls there, I guess. MiX with only 1 card left to his name, but Lene with only 2. Notably, that was not a boost from this. I believe it was a boost from hand, because there's no way Rose has it with a Divine Blaze. So that was a boost from hand. Both these players will have to probably spend some time reloading now. Rose actually going for the reshuffle. I mean, was pretty low on options. I'm pretty sure it was out of slows. Maybe he had like 1 focus left, but yeah. I mean, now's the time to reshuffle when Ken doesn't have any deck. What's Ken gonna do? Strike? Yeah, Ken just boosting Shoryu here. So yeah, Lene that's a good time to reshuffle. I mean, we see a lot of lower level players. I'm gonna say this over and over again, but we see a lot of lower level players struggle to find the correct time to reshuffle. Because like they either lose too much tempo from it, or they feel like they lose too much tempo from it. But okay, this was a good time to reshuffle here for Rose. It's the elusive flash boosted into the flying swallow. So this would be what, like a 5-for-5 trade. Drops the Moongyre. Rose will of course gain advantage off this. It's a 5-for-5 trade because of course resisted sheer wall was boosted, and now we're just gonna see the fat CC come out. Yeah, Rose with the full reload. Uh-oh, my lights are flickering. Uh-oh. And now there's thunder outside. This is good. Everything is fine. Everyone holds. Everyone holds. Has Rose used her Exceed side? She has not boosted once from the Exceed side yet. Has gotten 0 value out of it, which is interesting because normally we see Rose use that Exceed side a lot, but just hasn't gotten the right boosts in there. I mean, had a Respect, and like had a Superior in there, but opted to get rid of it for the extra card. Ken with not a bunch of cards left to his name. So I definitely missed a count. I definitely like missing counts on Ken's side, by the way. Like there's no way Ken has this many cards left. Anyway, we see Rose spend 2 force in the form of the Diviner again to crossover. So like really, I mean, Lene could have reverted and then crossed over. But really not if I guess would have overdrawn in that situation. Because it would have drawn up to 8, but still. Jan says the front side UA is very good. Rose hates it, I'll tell you that much. Rose absolutely detests it. MiX going for the reshuffle here, which is good. So now I don't have to talk about how incorrect my card count is. I'm pretty sure it's horribly incorrect, but MiX going for the reshuffle here. 11-8 as far as health totals are concerned. So, I mean, this game is pretty close overall. Can like come back with like something into Shinryuken, I guess. Would need to build a fourth gauge, like maybe like a block into a Shinryu, something like that. Just like a nice, easy, safe way to get that option online. If Lene continues to stay at range 1, I'm assuming Lene won't stay at range 1, but I'm assuming Lene won't strike at range 1 with a move that doesn't give her advantage, because then MiX can just block and then go for like a Shinryuken. And I believe one... Actually, no, both grasses are up for Lene. I can't remember. Honestly, the card tracker says both grasses are up, but I feel like it's a lie. As we see Rose spend the second Diviner and a Spike to dig further through that deck. What is she looking for? I'm assuming she's looking for a way to just close out the game with an advantage chain, and just hasn't found it yet. Really kind of awkward Lene gameplay. I mean, still on top as far as health totals are concerned, just because Rose got a couple good reads, or not reads. I mean, a couple good reads, as we see the Shoryu boosted, +1 speed, now draw a card. MiX is now fully reloaded. MiX now doing the tech that I love doing. I don't like the normal hand shuffle. I like the group and shuffle personally a little bit better, especially on a low hand size, you can track where the cards are going, and it is accurate. It's weird. Definitely, if you're a tournament player in this game, when you want to shuffle your hand, you want to flip it face down, group, and reshuffle. It takes an extra 2 seconds, but I think it's super worth it. I don't know, it just feels like Lene has just not drawn the proper sequence or something, or like in Rose's eyes, her Lene has not drawn a proper sequence to close out the game. And this time for Ken is good. Yeah, Migo asked the same question. Did she give Ken way too much time? Not sure if it was like a forced... Not sure if Rose felt her hand was forced, but... I mean, MiX has now drawn 3 cards off the top of his deck. Can't hit with the Shinryu yet, but... Although, now I don't really see MiX blocking with the Burning Passion in play. We're see... Wow. That is... We're going to see the Divine Blaze boosted into the Wild Swing. Whatever Lene's looking for, not in her hand. We're going to see MiX Wild Swing, too. It's just going to be the Assault into the Focus. MiX has now built gauge number 4. Ooh, pulls the Shinryuken, though, with the culling. That's a big pull. That's a huge pull. Okay. Love Reno. Rose is on red side, bottom side of your screen playing the Lene. And Ken is on top side of your screen, or MiX is on top side of the screen, blue side playing Ken. As Lene reverts with the Flying Swallow to front side. And then... we're going to see MiX toss away the EX Spike and the EX Cross to just dig for something. Maybe digging for a defensive block, maybe digging for something with armor, or, I mean, one Shinryu down. Shinryu's not really the win con anymore, right? Maybe digging for like an EX Grasp at speed 8. Maybe digging for Axe Kick, because one Axe Kick did get caught in the gauge before the reshuffle, so only one Axe Kick left in the deck of Ken, and that card is just super reliable. Digging for Gurns as well for True Masters, although Gurn looks significantly worse here when boosted as True Master, because Rose is just going to tech hit that, right? Lene's still looking like she's struggling to piece together an endgame, and here's the endgame. It's going to be a reading coming out. Reads the Grasp. MiX has the EX. And it beats Rose's regular Grasp. Oh, that's disaster. Disaster. And the True Master comes out, although, I mean, this is going to get tech hit, almost assuredly. And here comes the tech hit. Yeah, I mean, Wait, and Rose had the EX Grasp but didn't go for it. Oh no! Absolute scenes coming out here. MiX obviously gets the block off. Standing at range 2, threatening that axe kick. Lene at range 2 here. I mean, you can't elusive flash out of the axe kick. This could be it. This could be it. +1 speed just to make it speed 7, I guess. And also draw cards. I mean, there's a chance Ken doesn't even have it. But this could be curtains. We're going to see Rose go for another reading here. Reads the sweep. I think the reading is missed. The reading is missed, folks. We see hand of Shinryu, axe kick, knee bash, Hadoken, Tatsu block. And I mean, crit axe kick just wins games here, right? There's no game. This can't lose. Yeah. Wow. Rose opts not to play the EX Grasp into the reading. And just sad times abound from that moment. Just sad times abound. And it's just, yeah, I mean... Yeah, this is not... Yeah, MiX just showing the out there. Even that reading spike, right? MiX had 6 HP left, so as long as he survives, he's okay. Just because Ken, of course, has the quick attack +1 speed now strike into a 7 speed axe kick anyway. But MiX takes game number 1 with the Ken over the Lene. That's Rose's first Lene loss of the tournament. Migo says this was an ugly game, kind of, from both sides. Agree. Not sure if it was just... It looked like they just didn't draw the cards that they wanted to, and then were like a little bit inflexible in their game plans. But Ken eventually ekes it out with the axe kick, as is Ken's wont. We're going to game 2 here. Reminder: this is a best of 5 set. We're gonna see Rose bring out the Enchantress into the Hakumen. I did not expect to see the Enchantress come out here. Into the Hakumen. You know what? I honestly, with Hakumen coming out, you might as that's a rip for the card tracker. Don't think we're gonna be very successful with that. But yeah, it just felt like to me that they just felt either their hands were just so bad or they were just inflexible in their game plans. I just like wanted like really, really hard to go for something. But then, I mean, in the end, axe kick's gonna get you, right? Axe kick's gonna get you in the end. And Ken with the +1 speed strike. Just the fact that axe kick is a faked range 2 option, closes 1, meaning that elusive flash can't counter it, is just so good for Ken. That kind of inevitability. Anyway, this is gonna be a fun game to card track. Might not even do it at this point. Enchantress into Hakumen. I'm not really familiar, like super familiar of Enchantress. I did play a 5-game set against Rose's Enchantress, but I did not use Hakumen in that set. As we see MiX Mull 5. MiX, we know, of course, knows how to play Hakumen correctly. We did go for a dumb Zantetsu play once, and hopefully has learned his lesson by trying to interact with his opponent. This is a character that does not need to interact with the opponent. Just play your own game and you'll be fine. In fact, interacting with the opponent is often a bad thing on this character. So, yeah. Rose striking turn 1. I mean, we have a basic mix-up here of Homing Orb, Magic Shot, Fire Wave, Flying Charge, or Dive. Just a casual 5-way mix-up on turn 1. Notably, Hakumen has like a really funny option in Gurren. That's speed 5 and doesn't spend gauge, and so it doesn't close. So it's like it functions as a weird fireball here on turn 1. That's your weird Hakumen tech for the day. It's playing Gurren on turn 1. We're going to see MiX just armor through the 2 damage Magic Shot. Magic Shot will build 2 gauge. Gets rid of a Renka to do so. I mean, you don't really see this card played a whole lot. Rose will deal 1 damage with the Magic Shot, putting the Spiral Orb into gauge as well. due to the ability on due to the hit effect on Magic Shot. Yeah, I wonder if Rose has labbed this matchup. Rose labbed briefly the Lene Hakumen matchup with me, but I've not seen the Enchantress. And we were going to see the Fierce boost come out from Hakumen. Gets teched. Of course, we are back in normal Season 1 through Season 5 boosts. Welcome back, Tech. Enchantress only with 2 cards in hand. Such is the problem with Enchantress, right? Especially when she's, or only when she's not exceeded, right? There will be these times where you can almost catch out Enchantress, really. As we see the prepare action come from MiX. No surprises there. Shibu gets parried by Enchantress here. Enchantress down to just 1 card in her hand. And a lot of early game Enchantress is kind of predicated on what you draw, right? So a lot of the plays that you see is just like what deck order has been crafted by the Enchantress player. It's a best of 5. So we see MiX spend 1 force in the form of the Renka to move to range 3. And it's time for Rose to run away. Spends 2 force in the form of the Rapid Beam just to run away. Now standing at range 5, notably Hakumen does have a boost that says attacks at range 5 don't hit you, but MiX just attempts to MiX just boost across instead. Really hard telegraphing that he has something good at range 3, because this is the second time he's now intentionally moved to range 3, right? The first one was the move action, but the second one was what's with cross. He could have run here. And Enchantress boosts power says, I don't believe you have a real range 3 mix up here. MiX hard committing here, boosting the Tsubaki. Well, I mean, MiX certainly has the X Assault in hand now, right? We're gonna see the reading come out from Enchantress. Reads the Assault, reads the EX Assault, and pops it with the Homing Orb. I mean, that was the biggest telegraph in the world. And Rose saw it coming and calls it out with the reading. That was maybe the most obvious EX Assault I've ever seen in the history of EX Assaults. MiX just preps, licks his wounds, preps. I mean, only 2 damage, but Rose, or 4 damage, excuse me, because it was Fierce boosted. And we're gonna see the Flying Charge, Sweep, and Rapid Beam. Oh, this is the Mind Control boost coming out. Spend up to 3 force. The opponent must reveal that many cards. Choose one of those cards and discard it. Just getting that fresh hand. And we see EX Yanagi and an Enma revealed. Rose says, don't want to deal with Yanagi. Yanagi kind of a weird card. The main use I've seen for it is that it's a fun little cross catcher at range 1. So we see the Zantetsu drop into Gauge. I'm assuming MiX prepared. But Yanagi's a fun little card. That's it's weird, right? Because it's a card that wants to get hit, but it's also 3 speed, so it loses like very awkwardly to focus and sweep. But it's catches cross. Oh, wait, look at this Gauge. Look at this Hakumen Gauge right here. I didn't even notice this. 1 1 2 2 4 4. Well, that's a fun time. That Gauge is oh, MiX will have to find something better. At the very least, like it just means that his first exceed won't be very, like, he can read and he can boost light. That's cool, I guess. Light boost immediately met with the massive. Rose with 2 spikes in her deck. Massive gets teched. Both spikes now in the Gauge for MiX. 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4 in the Gauge for MiX, and this is ugly. Look at this. This is disgusting. This is absolutely disgusting. Rose now striking with a singular card. MiX responds with EXDP, which will beat like a sweep. It's the Fire Wave. So the Fire Wave means that Rose will armor through this EX Enma. Will only take 3 damage. Fire Wave, of course, has a weird like after push 2 on it, which is fun, I guess. Don't really expect to see this happening, but does gain a little bit of armor to deal with the 7-speed DP of EX Enma. Okay, we're going to see MiX run to range 1 now. There's another normal in the gauge just for kicks, and we see MiX has 5 cards in hand, 1 card in gauge. So clearly I missed like just a lot. Like if you look at the card tracker, it's nowhere close to being accurate. Rose knows what these 6 cards are. I don't. We're gonna see Rose boost a Fierce here, and Hakumen will exceed. So let's see what Hakumen gets. I mean, Hakumen will get back readings. Readings are so good into late game Enchantress, who just draws a bunch of stuff, right? Brings back attack, brings back a light, and then probably an Enma, just an option that won't get red. Yeah. I mean, not the prettiest looking exceed, but hey, there are 2 lights in there for value later. There's 2 focuses for 2 readings, which are going to be pretty brutal into an Enchantress with only 13 cards in deck. As we track these cards real quick while we have a little bit of a lull in the action. Here's exceed number 1. How many exceeds? How many licks does it take to get to a center of a Tootsie Pop? How many exceeds will MiX take to get to the end of Rose's life? Or will he die first, of course? But 2 readings is super scary into this position for Enchantress. Enchantress does not have the gauge to exceed yet. Her exceed cost is 4. Of course, when she does exceed, she can basically just reset in the same way Enchantress does, or the same way Hakumen does, but Rose says, I don't want to draw cards yet, let me prepare. And of course the prepare action for Enchantress means draw 1 singular card. Okay, first overdrive goes off. Sweep comes out, and it's just going to be attack from MiX. Text the Fierce. Enchantress able to run out of the corner, take range 3. Hakumen thinking about maybe boosting Kishu? What was that? Like you saw him wiggle his card like that. Drops a sweep. Interestingly, keeping the Enma maybe for the boost later. And we are going to be boosting the Kishu. It's going to be a close 2 and strike. I mean, Rose has been keeping this card for a long time. Boosted Fierce with it at range 1 as well. But, I mean, hey, this is probably a free Ultra. Probably that one. Shocker. It's the Shippu into the Assault. Assault will deal 2 damage, and Shippu will hit back for 8. The Assault does hit, even though it doesn't feel like it, so Rose does build that 4th gauge. Now it's drawn a fresh hand, but probably has to exceed right away to avoid getting red. Especially, I mean, if we look at that, if the card tracker is accurate. I hate the card tracker, because the card tracker is now predicated on whether it's accurate or not, because I'm not good enough at tracking it and commentating at the same time just yet. But we do see a spike boosted. I'm assuming MiX is just going to go for a reading anyway. Just because Rose did not exceed. So when Rose exceeds, everything goes back into the deck. So it's much harder to get red in that kind of scenario. But Rose did not exceed. She instead boosted Spike. Maybe telegraphing that she doesn't have normals in hand. MiX reading Spike and going for the Wild Swing. Yeah, there was only a block in here. So Rose going for the EX Shattering Scream. I mean, that's gonna hit a lot. Well, I mean, just be better. Just craft your deck better. The EX Shattering Scream will run into the Yukikaze. So the EX Shattering Scream will hit first 4/7. Enchantress not gonna be able to exceed anytime soon now. Spends 3 gauge for it. Mixed with the Wild Swing Yukikaze. Migo says, what a cool character. I agree. The Yukikaze will hit back for 4 damage. Of course, it's free because your gauge costs are reduced to 0. You know what? This Mix tried interacting with Rose, but his deck stopped. His deck stopped the interaction. So thank you to Mix's deck for saving his life here. Because I mean, I don't know, what did he expect? Did he really expect Mix? Did he really expect Rose to not exceed when she had EX Spike in hand? That's so strange. That's so strange. That's so, I guess we're just happy that Mix's deck stopped any potential interactions from happening there, right? That everyone wipe the sweat off your brow. That was a close one. Mix's deck did just save him from interaction there. But I don't know. Like there's no world where Rose like doesn't have EX, where Rose has EX Spike in hand, where she boosts defend instead of exceeding. So what a strange play there. I hope is that Mix's one weird play of the set. Mix loves making one weird play in a set. Is that the one? As we see Enchantress Strike here, there were 3 cards in hand, but I was too busy. The Yanagi, it's the Yanagi will hit first for. Wait, Yanagi misses. Wait, what a dumb interaction. Fire Wave goes first, misses, pushes 2, and then Yanagi will miss and then spend a gauge to close 2. Obviously doesn't have to spend a gauge. What a weird what a weird strike. What a weird game. Just I don't know, it just feels like the set is just so weird. Like I just feel like I have no idea what's going on in both of the heads of these players. Well, Hakumen flips back, has 5 gauge to his name. What a cool character. What a cool, fun character. Yeah, Jan, that's the logic, but the thing is that logic is literally game losing, so there's no way you actually go for that, right? Like, Exceed characters don't have enough HP to go for those kind of moves, in my opinion. It's not Yomi. Mix picks up the focus, does not shuffle his hand. That focus is right here, folks. Keep an eye out for that as Mix boosts Fierce and then gets gauge number 6. It's the Renka. Keep an eye out for that. This card is Focus. It probably won't matter, but Mix, shuffle your hand, guy. Come on. Enchantress has to go for a manual reshuffle here. We know what this card is. I mean, you guys know what the card is. But, yeah, Enchantress does not get to draw for end of turn. I mean, so Enchantress caught in, like, a weird situation where there's a known card in here. I don't remember what it is. Chat, do you remember what the card is? No, the Yanagi misses because Fire Wave pushes 2 on and after. Oh, wait, the Yanagi does hit. Sorry, hit for 1. I think Rose took the 1. Yeah, Yanagi's like a weird cross-catcher. Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's my bad. And Yanagi did hit. It's in the gauge. Yeah, sorry. That's my bad. That's my bad. I was talking about how like Yanagi's a cross-catcher and catches stuff at 4. But yeah, Yanagi did hit for 1. We see the Renka boosted. That's a reach. Plus 0 to 1 range now strike. With the Fierce in play as well. Drops the known focus for it. Roge is going for the Wild Swing. It's a Homing Orb. Not good enough. I mean, it's a second Grasp. This will be a 5 damage Grasp. And Hakumen well on his way to victory. Ground Break. I mean, Hakumen will just retreat too. That's fine. Enchantress gets a fresh hand. Hakumen at 7 gauge. Here's gauge number 8. And, well, this is looking extremely tough for Hakumen to handle. I'm honestly just giving up on the card tracker at this point. MiX boosts defend, gets gauge number 9 going. There's second Shippu. Well, this gauge is looking a lot better than the first time. And the first gauge ended up being quite good. Just because, I mean, cards from hand are still free. You don't really need to recur them if they're just in your hand, or the top of your deck in MiX's case. But this is looking so rough for Enchantress. Enchantress is not typically a high damage character. I mean, and even if Enchantress were a high damage character, we have a free Yukikaze in here as well. We got armor for days with 2 Shippus. We do see an EX attack come out from Rose, and this could be EX anything, to be fair. I mean, I would hope it's Dive or Spike. I guess MiX does have an interesting question of whether he wants to spend gauge. Actually, no, he's at 16 HP. I mean, Yukikaze pretty much guarantees the hit, right? But, like, guarantees the hit against the Assault and the Spike. But it's quite expensive. I mean, Assault Spike mix up for the most part. It's a block. It's the Assault. This is going to be 7 power EX Assault coming in from Enchantress. Hawkman, why start interacting now? Just plays block. Enchantress gains advantage, of course. Moving to range 1, now initiating a strike. I mean, Enchantress doesn't really have too many melee options, right? I mean, that's a funny melee option, but doesn't really work too well here with only 2 cards in hand. This is a focus-like funny melee option, and this is a melee option, which we saw earlier. Outside of the normals, these are really it for melee options. We're just going for the Yanagi. Yanagi catches the cross. Beautifully read here by MiX. And yeah, pack him up. This is over. This is over. Did he just toss a Shippu to block a 4 damage attack? Yeah, he did. Why did he do that? I mean, I don't know. Get it back into the deck. Yeah, I don't know why he did that. Migo, of course, commenting beautifully read. Come on, man. Yanagi always hits. Yeah, Yanagi hits 1 to 4, so I mean, it always hits. But I mean, catches the cross. That's a fun time, right? I mean, MiX read that it wasn't slow. Although, I mean, I think MiX would have been totally happy trading a Yanagi into a slow there, so, like, whatever. Thank you, Migo, for demonstrating your hatred for Hawkman. I feel like there wasn't enough Hawkman hatred in the chat, so thank you for bringing that up to acceptable levels. Yeah, you're right, Jan. That was so weird. He did drop a Shippu in there. I have no idea why. I mean, assuming it's just so he could draw it later, so that way he wouldn't clog his Exceed, right? Because he already has 2 Ultras to build up, and Enchantress just going for the push play. Enmo would close 1, and then Fire Wave. I mean, this is just desperation, right? Playing multiple Fire Waves that don't hit. Actually, this one does hit. No, it doesn't hit. Hawkman started at rage 2. This only hits 3 to 6. Yeah, here comes the Hawkman Exceed, and yeah, pack him up. This is over. Very, very. It's not over, but it's like basically over. I don't know. It just feels like this is such an uphill battle for Enchantress. She does have gauge for Ultras, question mark, but I'm assuming that MiX put the Shippu in there just because he felt like he didn't really need to recur more than 2 Ultras, and I mean, 1 of each Ultra I think it may be good enough, but I don't know, this just feels like so uphill for Enchantress from this position. Well, Enchantress does get to strike here. Notably, Assaults are down, just remember that from Enchantress. So this is either a 2 damage on curve move in the magic shot, or it's under curve. MiX has an EX which will deal, and yeah, I mean, what's that losing to? That's not losing to anything. And it's gonna be game 2 going to MiX as well. MiX now up 2-0 for the set, and 2-0. You know what that means? It's time for MiX's Carmine. MiX is gonna have 3 chances with the Carmine. to win Game 3 and the set. MiX obviously not going to the Plague Knight. We pretty much know that MiX is not going to the Plague Knight. He's fully dropped the character. Or certainly looks like he's fully dropped the character. And especially after that week 1 showing into Zeus Pegasus 13, I don't think we'll be seeing the Carmine. So Rose will have to find 3 wins against MiX's Carmine, and I believe Carmine is something like 24-4 in this tournament. So, I mean, yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be very, very tough. I'm already going to replace the cards here with Carmine's cards. And it's going to be Rose bringing out the Linné. Linné doesn't have a terrible matchup into Carmine, I feel like. I also just feel like I've been told this more, but Linné does have, like, advantage chains and cute stuff, and, I mean, does get +1 power, I guess, which is not really super relevant, but can matter. But it's Season 6, baby. This is why we're here. We are playing a full Season 6 character matchup here between Rose's Linné and MiX's Carmine. And this character, Carmine, absolute menace. Look at that, even swears on his cards. What a hooligan. We got a bunch of slows here. We've got a fast option. We've got a DP for 1 gauge. We've got this. MiX actually really likes going for this ultra a lot. 2 end games. The haha be devoured. All like ends up being like a 1-11, 1-4, 11-6. MiX, of course, spreading his own agenda, says if he wins, he wins, and if he loses, he proves Carmine is not OP. MiX spreading his agenda. But yeah, we've already seen the Linné cards before. I mean, they're pretty mediocre for the most. I mean, mediocre to okay. That's good. That's good. That's good. The ultras are good. But like a dive, a mediocre fireball, a weird mid speed that does really well into sweep, but nothing else. Also, like, hard loses to give me that, and DP, which I guess is, I mean, DPs are always good. This is going to be tough. I'm assuming after, if Rose wins with the Linné, she'll go to the Jhin next. And then, I don't know, between Dan and Enchantress, maybe Dan just because he has bigger numbers. Just let Jesus take the wheel. Yeah, that's what Jan says. Let Jesus take the wheel. But this is gonna be tough for Linné for sure. This is gonna be very, very tough. At the very least, Linné gets to go first. Linné feeling like she has to go on the aggro here. Look at this. Now strike before close, 1 hit gain advantage. Rose, we've seen her play sweeps with this. We've seen her play spikes with this. We've seen her play assaults with this. So that's the basic mix-up here. Could also play dive, I guess, but, I mean, reading's kind of one of the ways... Oh, I forgot to replace the Linné cards. Let me do that right now. But reading's kind of one of the ways that we've seen MiX in the past be weak to reading. And Carmine, one of the ways to diffuse his setups is just with a cheeky reading. So... yeah, you could just say no. Just say no. Why did Linné... Okay, this is so weird. Linné chose not to draw a card. Wait, why can she not draw... Oh, she can't draw a card because of the close 1! Oh no, it's so sad. Before close 1... Before close 1 prevents Linné from drawing a card. That's so sad. Carmine, of course, with the least interaction possible, just crossing out of any threats there. And we see the you blank, this is the end, and it begins. We'll take a look at the dissolve boost real quick. If your range to the opponent includes the space plus range plus power, add this to your gauge. We see Rose immediately VO into that, and then Carmine, I think, prepped, and now I think Rose preps. Jan says, predicted MiX would win, but if it's a 3-0, I would be very impressed. I would also be very impressed. Here comes the early reading from the Carmine. Grass reading misses. Rose predicting a spike, but gets spiked in return. Well, I mean, reading grass there obfuscates what you're playing here, right? It was the hand of 2-5, the useless fireball, and a divine blaze. Good start here for MiX. Gets to continue to maintain the dissolve on the board. So this is a mistake I see some Carmine players do, is that they strike too aggressively, and then their setup falls away, and then a character like Lene, who, I mean, not now, but much later in the game, who can chain 3 or 4 turns in a row, can bring it back. But MiX already keen to not do that. Keeps the dissolve on the board, just hits with the spike. We see the air dash come out, Lene retreating back to range 5. Carmine does have an option that hits at range 5. He has 2 of them, in fact. He has a spin. Okay, well, now that there are 2 dissolves on the board, this changes things a whole lot. Now thrust hits as well. Thrust, of course, being 6 speed, which will stun out the Skyfangs, but not the EX Skyfangs, notably. But yeah, this is... Carmine's getting set up, and Lene, not enough time. Not enough time. We'll have to move in eventually. Notably here, certain range 3 options will hit, like an assault will hit, for example, funnily enough, because assault will pick this one up, close 2, range now 1 to 2, pick this one up, now range 1 to 3. So just from this position, assault does hit. Dive will obviously hit. The slows will all hit, and thrust will hit. No gauge for the blank. This is the end, so I guess that's some comfort there. You're not getting hit by that. But this is already looking really brutal for Lene. Hasn't really built anything up yet. Is the issue. Wait, what was that? Oh, okay, it was a revert action. Reverts with the Skyfangs, boosts the Divine Blaze. Oh, wait. T. The saving grace of the matchup. Forgot. The saving grace of the matchup. This is 2 to 6, 6, 6. Rose catching that she could build that second gauge with the revert action. MiX gets both of his stuff discarded because he didn't play speed 7. And out there was the EX thrust. Yeah, Rose correctly spotting with the revert action that she can make a pretty nasty surprise here with the Diviner. I didn't count that because I forgot Season 6 can revert, but revert into Ultra is definitely a tech that a lot of Season 6 characters need to employ a lot more, and Rose showing it off there. Still, of course, doesn't have life lead because MiX Wildsword Focus, I believe. Notably, this was boosted with culling, so of course, with the rest of Lene's boosts, she gets advantage. That is 1 Diviner less that MiX needs to worry about on this reshuffle, however. Did discard 2 dissolves there, but of course Carmine can get dissolves back from the discard with the Rainblood. Instead, we're going to see the Haha be devoured, boosted at range 1 from Lene, directly threatening the thrust, the spin, and the dive here. But that's 2 dissolves down, and 2 more dissolves can be tech hit. So that's only 2 dissolves left, so don't count Rose out just yet. The setup did look pretty brutal, but don't count her out just yet, as we see the second air dash boosted now to close in. A little bit of dancing here. Range 2, fun times for Lene with the Elusive Flash, however, Elusive Flash gets hard countered by the thrust. And we're going to see Dissolve number 4 boosted from Carmine, so if Lene gets a stun here somehow, some way, she's looking really, really good. But how is she going to do that? How is she going to do that? She's going to do that with a potential reading. Reading the Grasp. Unfortunately, reading Grasp means that this dissolve goes off. And then, wait, play sweep? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, it's gone from, oh no, you hate to see it. You hate to see it. I thought it was gonna be a focus, but I mean, oh, oh no. I was gonna put a cheeky comment to MiX. What else did you expect besides the prep? Here comes the exceed action from Carmine, who can now recur this twist. Lune staring down the barrel of a speed 6 thrust here, or speed 4 dive, but that is that tilt there? I don't know what that is. Carmine boosts another blood pool. Boosts it here, interestingly enough. Wonder why here. Thrust will now hit 0 to 3 from this blood pool, I guess. We see the respect come out from Lene. Sorry, from that moment on, I just like stopped tracking cards. So the card tracker has been a little bit of a failure, I think, just from its implementation. I think it's easier to do it when there's someone with me that can talk while I just kind of fill in the cards. But I'm trying my best. I am trying my best. As we see the second blood spike boosted. That's now 4 damage off the blood spikes. Fun and balanced boost right there. We'll take a look at this. Take another action as well. You don't see a whole lot of direct damage boosts in Exceed. The ones you do see are non-lethal ones, but even then. This is a fun one, and you always have to play around it. And now we're going to see MiX attempt a reading of his own. Reads across. Outspeeds the thrust, I guess. But Carmine can just not do it from... He can just not do it from his blood pools. Notably, if he does it from his blood pools, he can reposition them. Oh, blood... It still hits. Oh. Cross only gets you so far away. Blood pool from here is 0 to 2, and it'll hit back for, I don't know, 4 damage. MiX letting you, the viewer, know that MiX was totally happy losing to EX Cross there. But won anyway. Okay, here comes the tech hit. It's a tech hit wild swing though at range 6. Oh, that's a good wild swing. Oh, actually, no, it's not. Because this is an after. It's not a hit. So then MiX can spend a gauge to put a blood pool down. Lene will advance 3. It's forced to advance 3. Oh, actually, no. Lene. Yeah, Lene's forced to advance 3 on that card. So the blood pool down. Setup obtained for Carmine. Twist dealing no damage, but of course this is an after, so this is gonna be tough for Lene to come back. This is gonna be very, very tough. This is gonna be extremely tough. Lene prepping for cards. Not really sure what she's prepping for. Was she prepping for like a tech hit maybe? I mean, here comes the superior from MiX, just stabilizing that setup that much more strongly. Oops, sorry about those pop-ups. We'll take a look at superior here. Your next attack is EX. So you mix up onto the space. Range 2. I mean, Lene's elusive flash, but I feel like that just gets countered by cards. Okay. Yeah, Carmine says, okay, you're doing a block, don't need the +2 power. I'm just gonna trigger the dissolve first, and then gonna close in. So the dissolve will stay on the board, Rose at range 1. Listen, it's always sad times when you're initiating with the block. It's always sad times. Back to MiX here, who has the +2 power on the board. Checking discards here, maybe seeing if slows just win games. Slows do not just win games here, however. I believe we still have a dive left on the side of Lene. If the tracker's to be trusted, which it's not. But okay, I think the storm's cleared up outside, so I think we should be good for the rest of the set here as far as that. We see Moonshire boosted just for gain advantage, question mark. I don't... Lene has long side of board, so this is not like a cross catcher. What is the setup here? I have no idea. I have no idea what the setup is. Before close one, is this the only advantage gaining boost that Lene has, and that's why she's playing it like this? I'm assuming that's it. I don't know. Sweep just feels so free from Carmine here, right? Like sweep or Pulve. Carmine says, "Don't want to deal with that. I'm just gonna block you." Pulls the assault from MiX's hand. Block will obviously take no damage, I think. Yeah, I mean, I saw MiX just drop a bunch of cards there. I'm assuming that's 0 damage taken. Well, sweep does gain advantage. Oh, MiX just says... Okay, yeah, MiX just says, don't want to get red here. Drops. I didn't even see what card he dropped instead. But Lene does get advantage off it. I mean, I'm assuming that's why, like, Lene just has no other advantage gaining boosts there. Carmine just decides not to interact, as is the nature of a lot of MiX's characters. Just don't interact. That's and hey, it's a good strategy. It is Rose's advantage, so it is her turn. Still standing under 1 dissolve. Tosses down EX. This is EX Oh, it's EX Tenacious or EX Divine Blaze? Interestingly enough, I'm pretty sure Skyfangs is down. I guess Skyfangs was down like... Oh, wait. The card tracking has been is so bad. There are only 10 cards here, and there are like a billion dots. It's either Tenacious or Divine Blaze. Polarize is going to armor through both of those. It is the Tenacious. This is a 1/5/6. Dealing, what? 2 damage? So Tenacious Mist has 3 armor. And then this card hits back for 2. Takes back for 4. Oh, because there's a dissolve underneath. So that trade doesn't even go in the favor of Rose. Carmine, now it's his turn. He's sitting at range 4. Carmine checking his discard, maybe thinking of a reshuffle, get those dissolves back in. I would assume that he just, like, the level 0 play would just be play a dissolve anywhere. Yeah, there it is. Of course, Carmine gets to shake when he plays a dissolve. Will he take a step forward or a step back? Takes a step forward, draws a card for end of turn. As we see the frontside UA now employed by Lene. Is this now more frontside UAs used by Lene than backside use? That's really sad if it is. I really do feel like it is, though. So we see the Raid Blood come out, take 1 non-lethal damage, play an Ultra Boost from your discard, advance or retreat 2. So now we have 2 dissolves on the board, and, well, I mean, Carmine's last 6 cards are known, I guess. They're, like, is there a reading available? I think there's a reading available for Rose. to at least diffuse the setup, but don't even look at this. This card tracker is so bad. So we see... Oh, okay, perfect. Perfect, 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 perfect. Who needs the card tracker when you can just look at the hand here and cheat? Bam. Card tracker, now accurate. Wait, was there an EX flash in there? Amazing. The card tracker is still not accurate, despite Rose revealing her hands. Apparently, there's an EX flash. That's not true. Oops. I think it's something like that. I think it's one copy of Diviner instead of EX flash. Yeah, MiX definitely did not. I'm pretty sure it was one of each ultra. I guess I technically shouldn't be saying that, so I held my tongue, but then Rose said that you wrote it down, so at that point I was willing to step in, but... Card tracker now officially accurate, only for one side, though. I'm pretty sure Carmine's is still scuffed. Yeah, Carmine, there's 8 dots here. There's only 6 cards in Carmine's hand. There's a reading here that MiX will have to dislodge. I wonder if Carmine... You know what, Carmine, don't want to get red. Just if this is not a this is not a normal, you just CC your normals away, right? And then you don't get red. And then everything's all hunky dory. You can obviously just strike as well. But yeah, I believe we've seen 0 backside Lune usage. Okay, what did MiX write down here? I feel like 741. Oh, he just saw a Diviner and thought it was a flash. That's it. Whatever. MiX is like so... He's probably like so calmed here because he just feels like he's so advantaged to win. I think he is, but... Definitely taking his time. Doesn't want to throw the endgame. We've seen MiX throw endgames before. Goes for the mix-up here. Retreats. Strikes to the card. Probably super known. Probably just a slow. I guess that could be a thrust. Don't worry, the card tracker will be accurate, folks, as soon as these 4 cards are revealed. I mean, the fact of the matter is I know MiX has a thrust left, and I know he has slow options left because he's Carmine, so time to guess if you're Lene. And we saw that hand that Lene had, and it's like, what is Lene going to do with 147, Skyfangs, Elusive, Diviner, and... oh wait, Diviner hits for 5 speed, so this has to be a thrust. Diviner's a 5 speed move here. Oh, this has to be thrust. Because there are 2 opponent boosts out. Like, MiX would have to be a fool to not play thrust here. MiX is not a fool. It is the thrust, and that is game. MiX says focus was safe. I mean, focus is safe in that, yeah, Lene has 2 HP and then still loses. Now they're discussing the nuances of mix-ups, but I mean, in what world does MiX throw a game here and not play thrust, right? I don't know. I think Diviner's like fine there. Like, what are you gonna do at 2 HP anyway? Diviner's totally fine there. Well, here are the cards, by the way. If you guys were taking bets on what cards there were. Anyway, that is going to be MiX taking the set 3-0 We'll move on to Grand Finals, where he will fight the winner of Chica and Migo. Condolences to Rose, who will play in the third place match if it's happening. She will play the loser of Chica and Migo to see who gets third. But I don't know. Felt like the Lene games especially kind of went awry for Rose. To the Ken, just dilly dallying, maybe because she didn't have a setup that she felt confident in, and then into the Carmine. I mean, things went wrong from like the first reading onward. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the content. Sorry for the storm interruption in the middle. That just means that I'll have to do extra work later to splice the videos together. Or maybe I'll just keep them separate. Who knows? MiX wants to showcase a boost, so we'll let him here. Blood Spike. It's unfair. Blood Spike, maybe Funfair. Who knows? But thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you for the next one. I think Migo and Chica are scheduled to play Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern. I should be around for that. But until then, guys, take care and bye-bye.